let's talk about 2.OA.A.1 because this standard quietly exposes one of the biggest instructional myths in grade 2 and perhaps in all of elementary math, that story problems are either addition problems or subtraction problems, and that keywords will tell students which one to use. They won't, and standards never say that they should. If you look closely at 2.OA.A.1, the standard does not say solve addition and subtraction story problems. Instead, it names problem situations. The glossary table that supports this standard describes situations like add to, take from, put together, take apart, and compare. And here's the key thing. Those situations are not labeled as addition or subtraction. That distinction is intentional. In grade 2, students are still developing a deep understanding of quantity, comparison, change, and relationships between amounts. When we jump straight to keywords, more means add, fewer means subtract. We shortcut that thinking because words like more and fewer show up in multiple situations. And in grade 2, those situations might involve addition or subtraction, depending on what's known, what's unknown, and what the question is asking. The words don't do the thinking, the situation does. This is exactly why grade 2 is such an important year. Students might see a problem like this. The word more is there, but not in the way so many of the keyword charts out there suggest. If students are taught that more means add, they might try to add 52 plus 38, but that gives them more money, not the sister's amount. The word more is describing a relationship, not an action. Raina has more than her sister, so the sister must have less than Raina. That's not an operation decision, that's sense making. If we teach students to hunt for words instead of make sense of the situation, we train them to guess instead of reason. The glossary table exists for a reason. It's telling us that in grade 2, we want students to interpret situations, we want them to understand what's happening to quantities, and we want them to choose strategies based on meaning, not vocabulary tricks. And that's why keywords don't belong at the center of instruction. In addition, grade 2, a join situation does not automatically mean addition because students are working with unknowns in all positions. In grade 2, students are expected to solve join situations where the unknown could be the result, the change, or the start. That matters because the position of the unknown affects how students reason. A join situation describes what's happening in the story. Something is being added over time, meaning there is more at the end than at the beginning. But how a student solves that problem is flexible. For example, in a join situation where the start is unknown, students might add on from the known total to figure out what came before, or use subtraction. Remember from last week, in grade 2, this should be more around expanded form to get back to the start. That doesn't mean the problem became subtraction. It means the student is reasoning about what is known, what is unknown, and how those quantities are connected. In grade 2, students are not just learning how to add and subtract. They're learning how quantities relate when information is missing. Join describes the situation. Addition or subtraction describes the strategy. That is why 2.OA.A.1 doesn't say solve addition subtraction problems, but rather use addition and subtraction to solve problems. The standards name situations, not operations. Labeling problems by operations fuels keyword thinking. Focusing on the situation and unknown supports strategy choice. And that is the true work of grade 2.